Well, football season is here and Siouxland is ready. Many Siouxland teams call Morningside University's Elwood Olsen Stadium home. And along with plenty of football, there will be plenty of parking headaches this year. KTIV's Jacqueline Aragon has a closer look tonight at what you can expect and how you can handle it if you're headed to the stadium.
This Friday night, it's Sioux City East and Sioux City North to face off under the Friday night lights at the Elwood Olsen Stadium. And with the crowds these two local teams will bring, and with the limited parking at the stadium, extra time might be a good idea.
That's because this is the current condition of the main parking area near the entrance. At least a third of the lot will be closed for construction. The university has highlighted in yellow additional parking places for visitors. Visitors attending upcoming football games are encouraged to park in the west parking lot near Rosen Field and the south lot near the tennis courts on Peters Avenue. Those parking in the east lot should enter from Peters Avenue or South Paxton Street to avoid the construction zone. The construction taking place at the stadium's main lot is a part of the Pulaski Drainage Improvement Project, which began in June. The project is designed to slow and treat stormwater through bioretention cells and underground storage.
The goal is to improve water quality and prevent downstream flooding in the Pulaski Park. The city expects crews to wrap up work by mid-September. I'm Jacqueline Aragon reporting, KTIV News 4.